Okay guys, we're making some potatoes. Got some eggs. So what we're going to do is we're going to cook potatoes. Alright, we're peeling some potatoes. If I got anybody that finally showed up. Nope. Hello, Vitali. So we're just peeling some potatoes here. Gonna cook some pancakes after that. But you always want to peel the potatoes. If you've ever fried potatoes before, they just taste a lot better. 1 second. We're just cooking some breakfast here, guys. Got some potatoes going. We're peeling some more potatoes. And we're going to cook some sausage and eggs after that. So, sorry for the view. We're working on it here. We're actually going to fry the potatoes. When you leave the skin on, it just doesn't cook the same. It's not as good, that's for sure. So what we're doing is we're adding in the white potatoes. We've already added in the sweet potatoes, and the reason why is because they're a lot more dense. They take longer to cook, and they're a complex carb, so they're a different kind of potato. But one of the tricks I do when I do cook potatoes is you cut them in half like this, and then what you do is you cut the side corner and the other side corner, and you can cut the top if you want. It just makes it easier to cut, because you can actually move it around. But when you have 4 sides or 3 sides or more to a potato, it's easier to cook. You just throw it basically in the frying pan and it stays upright, and then you can toggle it or move it to another side of the potato, and then it can cook more evenly throughout the potato when you actually have a cube potato versus a rounded potato when you're frying them. So I wouldn't say this stuff is like the end-all be-all of cooking it, but it's one of the reasons why my potatoes are so good, is because I control the cooking, and I usually have it covered in the beginning. And what it does when you cover like a saucer, a frying pan, or a pot, is it encapsulates the cooking. And so what happens is it cooks through the potatoes quicker when you have the top on. When you remove it, it obviously cooks them more from the bottom, because that's the side that's actually where the heat is coming from. And so what we do in the beginning when we cook these potatoes is not only we throw the sweet potatoes in first, but the white potatoes we throw in second, because they just cook through so much easier. So this is what ensures an even cooking with all the different potatoes that I put in here. I put the seasonings and the onions last, and that's because they burn quick. It's easy to burn. You have to be careful when you cook any kind of oil or butter, especially above a medium high, because stoves, they tend to get so hot that burn points of all these oils and butters start happening around 425 degrees, 450, and you just have to be careful because you can really ruin whatever you're trying to cook. So what we're doing too is, the cool part about cooking fried potatoes without the skin is you can get rid of all the nasty skin that's on there. If you have any like not so good or aesthetic looking potatoes and you want to pretty much use them, you use the ones that look like crap, because you're just peeling it off anyways, so the potato looks the same afterwards. And so I usually pick some of the potatoes that I'm not going to use later on for baked potatoes or cooking, that just don't look as good because we're going to peel it off, and so it's just nicer to get rid of those first. So what we're doing here, for anybody that's just joined, I know I've had quite a few people come in and out, is we're cooking some breakfast right now, and particularly some sweet potatoes and white potatoes. We add sweet potatoes because sweet potatoes have a better glycemic index. They're healthier for some people, although there are studies out there that say that there is no difference between a complex and a simple carb, but I feel like at least they taste a lot better, and for me, I get a lot less of a crash later on in the day when I have sweet potatoes or any complex carbs, brown rice, whole grains, all those things. They digest a little slower, and they're a little bit better on your sugar, your blood sugar, stuff like that. But white potatoes, they're going to spike that. So, but we love the taste of white potatoes, so we're throwing those in while we're cooking the sweet potatoes. And as you guys can see here, we just got a little pile down here of our peelings. And then over here we've got a couple of pans with potatoes going. And we've got an air fryer over here, but we're going to cook some sausage as well too. So anyways, I'm just going to keep peeling this guy here. So yeah, like I said, I like to chop the potatoes in half, and then I like to cut the sides off, because then I know I at least have 3 sides, and then I usually cube them and make them pretty big, because white potatoes, they cook right on through real quick. And so we're just slowly adding it as we cut it. But all in all, this kind of a breakfast it can take about a half an hour to make, to an hour, depending on how many things you make. And you don't want things to cook forever, so I like to put the lid on so they cook through quicker. And then what I really do is I dump the oil out, any oil that's collected, and then I take the lids off and I crisp the potatoes. And that's usually around the time when I start to add the seasonings. But I've got some pretty big chunks here. That's okay. It's going to make it much easier to cook later on. And so I've got a few more potatoes I got to go through here before I throw them on. We're looking pretty good so far. So it's tough because if you throw the white potatoes in too soon, it'll overcook. And if you throw them in too late, you'll end up overcooking your sweet potatoes instead of your white potatoes. So timing is everything when it comes to cooking. I think that one of the most valuable lessons I learned with working out and cooking is that once you get so used to doing something repetitively so many times, you can do other things like we're doing this right now. And I can talk to other people and multitask simultaneously while I'm cooking. And that's huge because it just makes it to where you're better at being able to manage your food and cook things on time properly, because like I said, timing is everything, and time management is probably the most important, I think, characteristic when it comes to cooking, because if you don't time manage properly, you're going to burn your food, overcook it, undercook it, whatever. And so by doing it so repetitively, it just makes it to where it's easier to do cooking at any time. So we're almost done here with our potatoes. Just add a couple more, and then we're going to call it good for now. I might try cooking some in the air fryer as well too. We don't know, but I'm going to add a little bit more oil in here to my frying pan, just because sometimes you'll see where the oil gets sucked up by the other potatoes. And so in reality, we're just trying to give some back to the white potatoes here. Oh, sorry about that noise too. I don't know if this is draining out the sound. But yeah, so we got a couple comments, got a question mark, don't recognize you. But yeah, we're excited for this breakfast. Hope I didn't cut my finger. Felt like it. Damn. It's okay. I'm good. Not going to the doctor today. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move this over to the cooking aspect of this in a second here. So, I think I've got a little bit more room for some more potato here. You can see I got two going. Got that one, I got that one over there covered. So we're just gonna add in a little bit more potato. And then we're gonna move on to the next stuff, which is the sausages, pancakes, and all that stuff. So if any of you are interested, well, I've only got one of you right now, but if you're not subscribed, make sure to like and subscribe if you're interested in cooking or exercise, fitness. Most of my channel is about just the different foods that I eat and how I cook them, prepare them, and also the routines that I have and when I'm working out, stuff like that. So anyways, we're almost done here with this potato. Almost burnt them, and so you have to really keep a close eye on these because potatoes are easy to burn. Also, like a lot of people don't know this, but the brown part when you're frying or cooking the potatoes, I don't know if it's formaldehyde or what it is, but not good. Okay.